Hey guys, this is just a free-flowing video about why I think it is so hard to replace software engineers. You may have heard a lot of CEOs talking about that they are going to replace mid-level engineers or our products will be completely built by AI agents. And there is a lot of hype about that, but not many people are talking about the reality. I'll give you a really good example. So I'm going to talk about why it's hard, right? If software engineers don't just write code, they have an understanding and an underlying understanding of the system that that is software, that how software is arranged, right? I'll give you a very simple example. You may have experimented with a tool called bolt.new, and this tool allows you to just write instruction and it can just spit out a website. Think of if you want a booking engine, a travel website. You can ask it to just write a travel website, have a layout on the left, have a booking on engine on the top, show the product listing on, as a list, and it will create it for you. It can even create some basic backend which can possibly start saving these products, or maybe that's where the product listings come from. And I think it uses Supabase for it. I was showing that to one of my clients, and I was asking him to just try it out. I think next week I met this person and he started asking me some really good questions on how he wasn't able to build something useful with some of these tools. I just didn't tell him about bolt.new. I think I gave him a few options around bolt.new, Replit, V0. I think he just tried Replit and bolt.new. That's another matter. But he wanted to build a system which will have payment integration in it, which could hook into his CRM. It could pull entry from CRM and show it on and lay it on his portal. He also wanted to add some databases because he wanted to store some new products and list down those products. Now, I recommended him some existing templates that he could use from Webflow, from Framer. There are so many out there using which you can build something basic really quickly and really nicely. But one of the things he said, which kind of stuck to me, he said that how can I install a database here? And I started thinking what he meant. And then I realized that he had a very unidimensional view of of a software that he's seeing in the browser. I think that in his mental model, the data gets stored, the communication, everything happens in the browser because that's what you see. For a software engineer or for a system designer or anyone who is more informed about software engineering than a normal layperson, understands how a software system looks like. For a simple website, you have a front end, you have a browser or a client, and you have a backend that serves that front end to the browser. Then behind the backend, you could have a further, maybe a database or maybe a file store or something that is serving some state or storing information. You have this system that usually you understand that only because you are a software engineer. You otherwise wouldn't know this, or unless if you have worked, if you have studied software engineering. That made me think that you can't just get rid of software engineers. You need someone who understand these concepts really well. and then be able to drive or use AI coding assistants or coding agents to drive building those softwares. So now you may have heard many CEOs say 90% of the code will be written by AI. When they say that, they don't usually specify who is writing, who is instructing them to write that. Many a times, it could be a very well informed product manager who once used to be a software engineer and has that technical understanding of how software systems work. And he might be in a really good position to build an end to end software purely by using coding tools or AI coding tools. But it's not as easy as just give it to any other person who wants to build something and he'll be able to ask us a tool to just build anything we want. That's the reason it's not so easy. There is more to software engineering, there is more to technology than what we what AI can do at the moment. I'll give you another example. I started using GitHub Copilot quite heavily in my workflows, and here I was trying to modify an existing system which is already built. Now the code was really badly written, and it was, can I say, it was 5 page long code. It was React code and really badly structured, no components at all, like everything put in a single TypeScript file. Now, I was otherwise really surprised by GitHub Copilot, and it can do wonders. When I asked it to refactor or do some changes in this particular code, it changed the code halfway. Beyond that, it wasn't able to process the rest of the code. That means, just like humans, even AI would struggle to keep such a long piece of code probably in his memory. Maybe there are too many parameters, there's so much going on. I don't know what exactly happened, but I wasn't able to get much results out of it. Now, if I were to write this from scratch using AI coding tools, AI tools are really good at really good modular code. An AI coding assistant may not have created code, like dumped everything in a single file. So the point I'm trying to make is there is a lot of code out there which exists. Someone will need to manage that, unless if people choose to completely recreate systems from scratch using AI coding tools. Understanding of legacy systems, creation of new systems, understanding of architecture, scaling it, DevOps, all those things, all those models are in your brains. That is the reason you can't be replaced overnight. And the only conclusion for me is your job and your work can be just accelerated by using AI coding tools. So if I were to look for 5 more engineers in my team or 2 more engineers, I will be looking for people who already have really good understanding and experience of using these AI tools. I don't want a person who might take 5 days or maybe 2 days to create a feature. I just want quick results. Now, this person will definitely could create better quality of code and maybe a better system, maybe. But the amount of iterations and experimentation that this other person can do using with AI tool in his hands will definitely be much better option for me than to go with a person who does not know any AI coding tools at all. Anyways, I'll stop rambling now, but my point is every software engineer should start learning about these AI coding tools, should start experimenting with them, should start building lots and lots of projects with the AI coding tools, and also be multi-skilled. If you are someone who's just expert in one system, let that be your expertise, but also develop other areas where you are good at. So just don't just be a front-end engineer, don't just be a back-end engineer, or just be a data engineer. Be a lot more. Be a data engineer who can create a front end and write APIs. Be a back-end engineer who can easily create data pipelines and create decent front ends. Be a front-end engineer who can really easily get down to creating CI/CD pipelines and APIs and some basic data pipelines. Usually what used to happen is juniors were really focused on, and that's how you evaluated or created goals for junior members, which is like you'll be focused and really master one thing and one module or one technology, and then as you grow you'll develop a bigger and more wholesome view of how end-to-end systems work. So that will be an added pressure on many new engineers to have a broader understanding of how systems work. That will only come from building end-to-end applications, and the more you do, the better it is. Have your profile on GitHub, create new projects, and show your work. I love this book. I love this book which is called Show Your Work, which is like if you are creating something and it's your responsibility to talk more about it. So I'll end up saying just 3 things. Oh well. Hey guys, someone just got into my office. Anyways, what I was saying was, don't worry about being replaced with AI. What you need to worry about is, are you able to catch up with changing technology? Learn new tools. These days, AI coding tools is really important. It's really important to know them. And if you don't know them, then you will definitely be replaced by people who know them. That's the reason. Learn new tools, build more skills, have better breadth of skills, and be involved in more things and try to understand how business works as well. The more you know, the more you can do with it. So if you like this free-flowing thoughts, I know it's a bit slower, so please listen this in a 2x speed, or more faster than what you would usually listen in. I'm sometimes a slow speaker because I need time to think. So thanks a lot for listening if you have stayed so far, and happy Friday. Catch you later. See ya. Bye bye.